I was just 18 years old when I went into McCamey Manor. I'm 23 years old now, and I've waited a long time to talk about this. I never planned to go to McCamey Manor until I spoke with a woman, and she told me things that made my blood run cold. Things I could not ignore, and things I had to see for myself. And looking back today, I wish I would have never done this. But in my heart, I just knew I needed to let everybody know what Russ McCamey is really doing. I talked with Lori Brotherton. She was a contestant at McCamey back in 2016, and we spoke a few years after she went to McCamey, and she basically explained to me the physical was nothing compared to the mental and emotional torment that affects her, and now me, to this day, after being at McCamey Manor. Everything Lori and I went through, and I mentioned in this video, is 100% legal. The waivers that are 40 pages you have to sign for McCamey Manor, they basically make you acknowledge the extreme physical, mental, emotional, psychological experiences that participants may face. And I had to sign a 40-page waiver. Well, not me, but my parents. And by signing that, participants basically agree to everything he's doing. Here's the thing, you have to be 21 to go, or 18 with parental consent. And after speaking with a woman who survived McCamey Manor, we all knew I had to put Russ out there, see if this is true for myself. So my mom and I agreed to buy a hidden camera, something to record, to prove, and to expose. And while I adjusted it, it clicked quietly when I was at the manor, just enough for Russ to notice, and he said to me, take off the camera or you're not gonna participate. And I did not want to take that camera off, but I knew at the time that the waiver was already signed. But seeing everything being set up in the props they were preparing, I just felt sick. And that's when I told him I did not want to proceed any further on. But I did notice the girl who was setting, like his worker or whoever she was, well, we know now in 2025 who this was, but at the time when I went, there was like a girl, she was probably 13, and she was basically setting the props up for us to begin. And later on, I found out that that girl's name was Mercedes Ann, and she has actually came out and it talks about her experience at the manor. But it turns out she actually was a kid, and she was working for Russ, 13, 15 years old. Russ met her at the age of 13. Anyways, if you guys want me to tell you more about that, I will, but McCamey Manor pushes people past their limits. This is not a haunted house. I'm a testimony, I'm walking proof. I've been to McCamey Manor, and I'm here to tell the truth. And remind you, all of this happens in Russ's front and backyard. So when I was going through this, my mom was sitting in the parking lot of his house. This video is getting too long, so come back for part 2.